Welcome to episode 9 of the Modern Day Morons podcast. I'm your host, MC Double.
I'm your host, fuck MC Double.
I am anti-MC Double host, Jacob.
Very well, very well. How are you guys doing today? What?
I was doing all right, I was doing all right.
That is very good to hear. I like to hear when my friends are doing well.
So, racist caricature. Do we have do we have a topic or a sponsor today?
Racist character. Are you trying to insinuate that my voice and vocal patterns are somehow astute?
Yes.
Also, I don't even know what I did that voice to myself 5 minutes before the podcast. I'm like, that's a good podcast voice, but I have no idea like what accent that actually sounds like.
It sounds like a bad impression of a poo, which is to say that it's a bad impression of a bad impression of an Indian person.
It was like
Yeah, that's up.
I feel like they had like a little like French European in there. Like, how do you
There
say?
was a hint of like of some South African maybe or like a Belgian in there somewhere. I don't know.
That's my impression of a French South African student exchange in India. It's pretty spot on.
Who does a podcast?
Oh shit, Hayden in with the big ol' raid. Oh shit. Yeah, I did see you were live, and then Brandon was like, "Hey, you're live," and I'm like, "Oh shit, we aren't following you on the official Modern Day Morons podcast account."
This isn't a two-tap raid.
This,
Two-tap got raided. I guess I was in Hayden's stream, so in some sense.
You could say that.
well, thank you so much for the Hayden. Thank you for the raid.
The Haid raid.
Raiden.
Nice.
Anyway.
Oh boy.
Off to a
How'd
good
the
start.
stream go, Hayden? I was watching a bit of it. It looked like fun.
Yeah, I got that Tom Clancy going. You brought everyone here just in time for our sponsor. Our sponsor is actually an individual this time.
Okay.
She's plugging a TikTok account. Her name is Jennifer Carvajal. And yeah, she's made some great content. She's good at the various things she does. And yeah, just basically it was just name recognition, get her name out there type of payment deal. She only paid us like $54.82 divided by 3. That's not a lot each, so we're not giving her that much ad time.
I mean, like for comparison, like Big Can last week paid us like 2.3 million. So you know,
clearly, as you can see, the production value has gone up. Just that we're in a studio now, and our studio is built to look exactly like we're in 3 separate rooms that are just exactly our houses.
It's really like if you see the studio itself, it's a fucking mess. We got different color paints in every segment of the room. There's a bed in 2 of the 3 segments. There's 2 beds.
There's actually 3 beds. There's another bed right there, just off camera.
All 3 of our houses mashed into one.
And yes, of course, I also did know that there was another bed just off camera, because I can see it. It's right over there.
For you, it's right there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what's up. Yeah.
So, yeah, well, damn, Hayden up to 30 followers. You love to see it. Be affiliate in no time. I do have a little news story to share with the boys.
Oh, let's go.
Do tell.
At 16 years old, oh, this is awkward, named Jennifer Carvajal, was drunk driving, ran a red light, and killed a man. And she got 5 years in prison, but she said she's learned from her mistakes. She was crying in court. She's like, my reckless actions have led to this man losing his life. And she felt very bad. Good. And she went back to court accused of violating probation by walking away from a substance abuse treatment facility. But after all that, she had managed to do better, and she went back to treatment. 2 weeks ago, she fucking did it again. She was once again driving drunk. Once again, they say, she crashed and killed a man.
Well, you know what they say about those alcoholics? They're very good with their self-control. So, that just doesn't add up to me.
Yeah, she's really kind of like MC. She's like MC double vehicular manslaughter.
I can't believe you thought of that joke and thought that was what you were going to use.
MC double DUI.
The worst part is, I guarantee you this is not something Liam thought of for today's podcast. That's just been a thought floating around in his mind for years, waiting for the right moment to put it out somewhere.
I started writing a song about me like running over some kids at a lemonade stand, and it was going to be called Double Vehicular Manslaughter. I wonder if I could find that in my notes. But you guys talk for a sec. I'll see if I can find the draft.
That's pretty awful though. Doesn't surprise me that it was a TikToker. Don't get me wrong, TikTok's got some great original content, but just like any part of the internet, there's also some shitheads there.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
That is a shame.
I really hope this young fucking moron gets a good long prison sentence and rots away.
Yeah, we're not gonna read anymore because it gets real sad about her troubled youth and her parents going. It's a sad story with lots of time, but it's just she did it twice. Is really the moral of the story.
Yeah. Wow.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Honest to goodness.
Can you imagine? She just her airbags went off and she's like, "Not again." 2 fills in a row. What are the odds?
This is a bad topic.
She's on a streak.
Yeah.
That's honestly though, not fun.
No.
DUIs and people dying from DUIs is like.
Well, it's not just people dying. It's their whole family, getting destroyed.
Yeah. No, we get it. Yeah. We understand.
On a separate note,
we get a third? Hayden, no.
The hatchet.
We shouldn't be laughing.
Well, you know what? He's dead either way, so we may as well get some enjoyment out of it. Imagine she goes to jail for 40 years now, gets out, she's 68, and just fucking does it again.
She finds our podcast and comes to specifically DUI us 60 years later.
So I wasn't able to find the double vehicular manslaughter track, but I found one note that just is titled Don Cheadle, and I don't remember writing this, but it goes, Don Cheadle, got the strap with the scope in the Volkswagen Beetle. Don Cheadle, got so many hoes, call me Malcolm Indy Meadle. I have this is from 2 years ago. I don't remember writing it, but it's there.
How fucking stoned must you have been when you came up with that banger?
I can't believe of all the songs you've put out, that has never made it.
Honestly,
made it to the surface.
Prime content for a song. I'm just saying that is very funny.
Don Cheadle, Don. I was probably watching fucking Iron Man or something. I'm like, Don Cheadle. But yeah. So welcome to that little gem.
Thanks for that.
That's wonderful.
Do you guys want to sign? Or do you have a topic, Jared?
Big swig.
I was just gonna ask if you guys have seen anything of the professional slapping tournaments that have been going on.
I haven't followed the most recent ones, but I did. I pretty much just watched all of Moist Critical's videos on them throughout the years. I know.
Same here.
What's his name? Vasily?
Vasily,
something like that. Yeah.
He's one of the goats.
Big boy.
I think there was another tournament the other day. Yeah, that shit's crazy. You got to be a crazy motherfucker to be in that.
Yeah, because it's not just open hand slaps. It's also they'll fucking go right for the palm bone and just try to fucking break your jaw sometimes.
I saw.
It's funny how there's a whole not union, but it's like an organized sport. Trink pen with the follow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Was he not following before?
Apparently not. We're up to 29 now. 28. Wow. 9 weeks interest, and it took you long enough.
It's been 4 months if you count the old podcast.
And the couple weeks we had to skip because of other stuff. Wow. Never
It's
got
all
to
right.
tune
You
in.
guys are so
All
ungrateful.
good. You're here now. You're here now. Thank you for the follow, Tristan. Now we're just giving him shit. If it were just some rando, you know,
The
it'd
rando would
be
have an excuse. He
exactly.
hasn't known us for like 8 years.
Work. Tristan, are you a farmer?
Or a pimp.
No, definitely not. But yeah, there's like this whole organized slapping tournament, and it's very bizarre that it's like an actual sport, and it's all just these massive fucking beefcakes. And there's one guy, I don't remember his name, but he is massive. I'm gonna actually go try and find one of the Moist Critical videos right now, because like this guy is massive. He is the biggest motherfucker I have ever seen.
It might be a Vasily, or is it someone?
No,
bigger?
it's a
someone other
different
than
guy.
Vasily, okay.
You guys keep talking. I gotta do some.
I feel like humanity's gone too far that we're now slapping each other. Like, what's it called? Jacob, you were in fucking psychology. The like pyramid of needs, or like it's like food and shelter, and then it's like. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I've learned about it 25 times in business school.
Yeah. We're so far away from that now that we're like, let's slap each other for money. Let's have a slapping. Like, it's just humanity. This is what happens when humanity has all its resources met. Is we just start slapping each other.
You just need to see the picture in this link. Look at the two people going against each other. That feels unmatched.
Yeah, there's no fucking regulation.
Like, how do you're not taking him on? Are you kidding me, Liam? If you can pull that up, because that is, I mean, that guy's got at least like 200 pounds on that guy, right? And that other guy looks kind of like, he's not like bulky, but he's not like small.
No.
Turn this off, sorry.
Even the like really muscular dudes have issues taking down just the massive fucking sumo wrestler Russians.
It's just crazy. It's like, I don't even know how it's a sport, though, technically. Oh, my God. Oh, here's another one. Jesus. Just the power of the slap in that one frozen image. Yeah, it's just kind of wild, though. It doesn't feel like a sport, but I feel like in Russia, that's like, or wherever this takes place, Eastern Europe somewhere.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is their shit. Like, they love it. This is the fucking hockey.
Yeah, it's just fucking slapping each other.
Slapping the shit out of each other.
I wonder
it's
how
all
much.
about mass.
I wonder how much pussy Vasily gets, and if they want them to or him to slap.
Forget about Vasily. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking guy.
Oh my God! It's beefy Joe Rogan.
He is absolutely massive.
Oh my lord.
What in the fuck?
Like, his arms are the size of his head.
That's actually terrifying. Yeah, no, now that you say that, those proportions are scary. That is not how a human body should look in the slightest.
I don't know what the fuck is up with him.
What does his tattoo say?
What's his bad boy? Bad boy, yeah. What's this guy's name? Hold on, I want to see if I can find him and Vasily together.
Yeah, Vasily won, I think. It's Artur Walczak. I'll see if I can spell it.
Walczak. I'm just gonna try and spell that.
There you go. I think it's somewhere.
Oh, there's a hidden C in there.
Of course there is.
I gotta see. Oh, they have their own, like, there's like an online subscription service for pay-per-view for this shit. I just found out. I was today years old when I learned.
It's big. It's big in the business.
Yeah. It's become a real thing. I wonder if I feel like fucking Moist Critical helped expose it to a new audience. Because his videos did however many million views. Probably would drop it regardless, but I feel like a percentage. Because that's the only way I found out about it.
The amount that he's vouching for it, you know,
or at least in like the North American market.
It's kind of crazy. No, just it's crazy to me how much like Critical himself has grown. I remember when he was like the penguin dude on YouTube who never showed his face and just did really boring commentaries with some funny jokes. Yeah. Now he's like one of the biggest people in the YouTube and Twitch meta. It's very strange. But good for him.
I just speaking of YouTube, because we should try to make these topical for every once in a while. I imagine you guys know your boy Boogie2988. I believe that's the numbers. Got fucking arrested. I think he's out now on bail. But I don't think they actually released what he's charged with. I heard aggravated assault, but I'm not 100% sure what the charges were for the whole Frank Castle incident. So it's I'm not surprised they let him go. Like, obviously they're not too afraid of him getting away.
I don't know what to say after that one.
Oh, if this is where we draw the line?
No, it's not. I was just caught off guard.
I mean, like, to be fair, so do tell Liam, because I feel like you might know more about the situation than I do, than most of us maybe do. But like, wasn't there some guy that just came to his front door and like was loitering basically, and he like shot a bullet in the air? Like he showed up to the door with a gun and escalated and shot in the air.
So more or less, but there is a lot more context, which makes it less defensible for Boogie. Because normally it's like, if you're on my property, get the fuck off. But it's this guy named Frank Castle who's a comedian, and he does like just different pranks or whatever. And then one day he's like, sissy hypnotize you, Boogie. I'm gonna hypnotize you into being my little bitch, essentially. And Buddy just started he's like, don't you fucking do that, don't you fucking do that. And it escalated online. And then this guy Frank Hassel he was like doing something and like posted a picture of him at Buddy's town. I'm pretty sure he was there for a different reason, or like maybe he wasn't. And then they both went on fucking Keemstar's show, Drama Alert. And then Buddy, now obtaining this fucking massive ass revolver, was just like, come to my house, bitch. I'll fucking kill you. I dare you to come to my house. See what happens. Come to my house, you little bitch. And then, so at that point, Frank Hassel's like, I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna fucking sissy hypnotize you. And then he came to his house, and then the confrontation escalated, and then Buddy's like, I'm gonna fire a warning shot, and just fired a massive ass gun in a fucking school zone with a church nearby. And then, so that was like news for a while, and now I think finally he's being charged for that incident.
Okay. At least he was on his property. I mean, like, still, this guy clearly was not going to do anything. You don't need to pull out like, if you're going to pull out your gun, that's one thing. At least it's a legal gun. But, like, you don't need to shoot that shit.
Well, the thing is, there's no such thing, like, legally as a warning shot. Like, you can't declare a warning. A shot is a shot kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, especially, like you said, church, school zone. Like, what goes up must come down.
Yes.
Don't shoot a bullet into the sky. Shoot it at the ground if you need to shoot your warning shot.
And, like, Buddy used to be anti-gun, and then he got one recently, and I think what kind of happened was, like, it's a scenario where once you have a gun, you feel, like, that's probably where it's like, come at me, bitch. Like, you feel, like, this sense of power, but if you don't actually know how to use it properly, you're just like, I have a hole maker. I have a thing that makes holes in anything I wanted. So it's all of a sudden you become not necessarily the alpha, but, like, you're superior in, like, life or death scenarios to this other person. You're no longer worried about him. So you have almost like this false sense of, like, manhood almost, where you're like, come at me, bitch. See what happens. I'll fucking shoot you.
I mean, like, I guess it seems to be the case there.
I mean, like,
though my typical
like
image of Boogie wouldn't be an alpha.
Yeah, but that's why it, like, escalates so much. Because Buddy was probably never in a scenario where he would win in the fisticuffs unless it was a really small guy. But now
he's crush someone.
Yeah, but now he's got, like, this secret weapon where it's like, I have the upper hand in this confrontation.
Secret weapon, 44 Magnum.
Get. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I was talking to Liam about this when Liam was kind of explaining the situation to me, but I have this prevailing theory that, you remember, like, the Francis videos Buggy used to do that, like, he kind of got famous for, right? Everybody in chat, Jacob, you guys remember this, right? like Francis gets mad at World of Warcraft, and it's like him screaming and like he's got like a lisp, and that's the character, right? Yeah, Tristan remembers. Tristan knows what's up.
Vaguely, yeah.
My theory is that the only thing that differs between Boogie and Francis, the character, is the lisp. And that's just how he actually is. I feel like that's how that dude like actually reacts to playing games. I feel like, I mean, obviously that's how he reacts apparently to real life confrontation by pulling out a 44 and
Imagine he did
shooting
that.
wildly into the air.
He did that entire thing in his Francis voice.
You better not whatever the fuck. Sissy hypnotized me.
I'll fucking kill you.
Oh yeah, so that's my theory about Boogie is that Francis is an all too real mirror of his real personality. Because especially hearing this, it's just like I don't know, man. That's not like normal adjusted person shit. He also is very bad at taking criticism, if I'm remembering some of the Boogie sagas throughout history, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Real
What a character.
Winds of Redemption type beat.
Okay,
I mean,
no,
like-
he's not as bad as Wings.
He's not
Wings-
much better than Wayne's.
He's not much better, but he's not as bad as Wings.
It's
He
just
even beefed with Shoe Knight.
there's got to be something wrong there, like in his mind, like actually,
Yeah, oh for
like
sure.
that's not a well
He did
tuned human.
He
Well-
did a Draw My Life, and it was horribly depressing.
And also, when you're 500 pounds, you have a lot of time to sit and think.
You
Clearly,
think that would make you better?
we're doing right. Yeah.
No, I think it would probably mess you up because I feel like that's how. Like a lot, I was thinking like incels, but I'm like they have the opportunity to go play tennis or something. But I feel like you can get, if you're just like sitting, you can like get into your own head too much, and that can fuck you up. Hey, Lemon.
So, hey, Lemon. So, first of all, Hayden, Boogie's just like a YouTube guy. He got famous off a couple dumb videos back in the day of like him getting mad at World of Warcraft and shit like that. And Shoe Nice is a guy who eats a lot of stuff. Now, my question is, Tristan, or maybe you guys if you know, but Tristan, how do you even get into beef with Shoe Nice? Are you like, you couldn't eat as much of a shoe as I can? Like, what do you do? Like, because that like all that dude does is just eat and drink dangerous amounts of things. I honestly don't understand how that would work.
I'm pretty sure Shunice's channel is pretty dead now. Like he still uploads, but doesn't get many views.
It's an edgy meme for a contest, and Boogie was salty. Okay, yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
surprise
but
me.
he's always salty. See,
I mean,
there's
like,
also a. Have you seen the Change.org petition? Give Boogie the death penalty.
No. Jesus Christ.
It's got like thousands of signatures.
Of course it does.
Interesting. No, I haven't heard of this, but I mean, again, like Shoe Nice,
JJ.
I wouldn't expect him to get many views in general. Like the fact that he blew up is one thing, but like man just eats food, a lot of gross food for a content.
I could do that.
I mean, like it's as unentertaining to me as the fucking mukbang videos are. Like that's just gross. Who would want that?
Liam,
Yes.
you say you could do that, but when we actually tried to do that for a video that is not out yet, you could not do that.
See, that wasn't discussed in foods though. That was just all.
That's true.
And that was a
lot of-
competition that I
yeah.
didn't set. Also, Tristan, how you just say who's Shoe Nice when you literally just referenced Shoe Nice? Oh wait, do
No, I
are
think
you
he was
saying-
talking about yeah
Who,
when
Shoe
you
Nice?
or Jacob was talking about eating a bunch of stuff or something. I don't.
Okay,
His content is eating food.
Yeah.
you need an apostrophe there, Tristan. Otherwise, it's just bad grammar.
Listen,
So I
Hayden,
do wanna
mukbangs are not
show you-
good content. It's not like, I mean,
A
in my
mukbang is better
opinion.
than a hot tub stream. Let's get one thing clear.
it's certainly more content.
Is
I
it
wouldn't
better
wanna
though?
watch it. I wouldn't want to watch it. There's more content to it. In my opinion, it's not better. It's equally lazy.
Devoid. Yeah.
But
There's
you know,
pretty much nothing to it. Yeah.
Tristan, if you want to talk about alcoholic YouTubers, Only Use Me Blade had a real nasty lead from his alcoholism with like holes in it. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
But speaking of holes, we're gonna play a little guessing game. how big do you guys think a black hole is?
Oh,
About the size of a Minecraft chunk.
I'm gonna say.
I'll give
I
you
don't
a
know. I
hint.
feel like those
It's
things
hard
be
to
breaking the laws
comprehend.
of physics.
It's very
I'm gonna
hard to
say,
comprehend.
At least bigger than Earth.
but the thing is, are we counting just external distance? Because there's also what happens on the inside, which just warps reality pretty much.
We're talking the
So how does
center of the black hole.
the center of the black hole? Okay, maybe a light year across. If you're saying it's hard to comprehend, I'm thinking big. Like I'm thinking it's quite large.
It's very
Big
hard
as
to
my car.
comprehend.
I don't know, Liam. Do tell. How big is a black hole?
1,200 times smaller than a carbon atom.
What?
Yes. There's a black
The
hole.
very center?
The thing that causes the entire like region of a black hole that's like light years across is just all the light that's literally being sucked in by this minuscule thing. Because how a black hole works is it's incredibly dense. Like they're the densest things
so
in the
am I.
universe. Like these things, for example, weigh anywhere from 10 to 100 solar masses, which is 100 suns, while supermassive black holes can be millions or billions of solar masses. So these things can weigh as much as 1 billion suns and be 1,200 times smaller than a carbon atom.
So it's like Mjolnir, but an atom size.
Yeah, like they're so infinitesimally small. But
See, more dense than Tristan. My only reference point for like black holes is pretty much just Interstellar. I'll say that's the area of theoretical physics I've looked the least into.
but
I genuinely don't understand.
yeah, no,
That's
it's
crazy.
it's crazy how something so tiny can just cause light years of light just not being observable in the universe.
That is pretty wild. That's yeah, no, hard to comprehend.
Yes, very hard because most people
I
think like it's just a giant hole that's sucking everything in, but it's really just this tiny dot.
You know what else is hard to comprehend? The level of big brained it took to go from holes to holes with that segue. That was great.
that just happened naturally, honestly, because I went to only use my blade with its fucking light holes.
That was some good shit.
Thank you.
Big brain, small, dense. Black
Speaking
hole.
of speaking
Liam has
of
the
brains,
smallest, densest brain ever with the most wrinkles.
speaking of brains, our next topic, and this is going so well.
Okay,
Should we
loving it.
legalize the sale of human organs?
Should legalize rant.
Legalize that shit.
Depends on the organs, and depends on a lot of things, I would think, because I don't think, like, what the fuck are you gonna do with an organ? If you need an organ transplant, I think that should be, like, because once you bring money into the situation, people are gonna start dying, because people are gonna start killing people for organs,
Just ask
so
the U.S.
no.
healthcare system.
Is my answer.
Okay. Counterpoint: people are already harvesting organs from people.
I know.
You can go to
So
Mexico, fall in
if you
with the
make it a
rock crowd,
legal
wake up
way,
without it.
if you make it a legal way to make money,
Yes,
Are,
but
are we
there's
saying that you're getting paid to sell it specifically, or like is the person getting their organs removed being paid for it?
okay.
I feel like
So
there's a distinction.
yeah, you can't just be like, "Hey, government, I have 2 lungs. Give me my check." It would all
Yeah.
be mandated, like how weed being. Think of it as a drug being legalized. How it
Okay.
goes from being sold on the streets through shady practices to now being a government level standard.
So suddenly you take out the donation aspect of things instead of and
You
giving
can
people a
still donate
financial.
your
Okay,
stuff.
but people likely aren't going to if there's financial incentive to.
Well, it depends because it's only financial incentive for the people they leave behind, or if you're in a real rough spot, you could go and get your kidney sold. You could go to the government, they do a procedure and sell your kidney, but it would really choke out the black market of organ sales.
So a hypothetical here. How much could I fetch for a kidney?
I think on the black market it's like a good price. It'd probably be less for the government, but
I feel like
probably say like 5 to 10 grand.
I don't like that Lemon knew that so quickly.
My thought would be though, like if you are like, yeah, you can sell your kidney. People are gonna start like people like, you know, somebody I know who had a lot of debt would be like, well, I guess I don't need my other kidney,
Yeah.
So,
and they'd sell it.
kidneys. Just can we get a guess? Can we get some guesses in the
I
chat?
thought
And,
I thought they were 5 grand.
22K, 22 grand.
so Jake, I was thinking along the lines of 26 grand. I was kind of in the same ballpark. $262,000, and if you want, and if we want to go closer to the $500,000 mark, a liver is worth almost 600K.
Kidneys are not. I don't know whether you can buy a kidney for way cheaper than that. That's bullshit.
Who's your
I've been
kidney
offered
guy?
so
Dude,
many
no,
kidneys.
kidneys aren't worth that $250,000 because you have 2 of them and you give one up. They're
But if you have 0 of them and you're going to die,
anyway.
Life is worth
It absolutely
$250,000.
would eliminate the black market because people wouldn't need to buy organs through the black market, and the government would offer competitive prices.
we offer competitive prices on kidneys.
Organs,
Look at our
organs.
brochure.
An
Come
article here from 2003 on the Guardian says a kidney costs $100,000. The donor gets $2,000. So if we're taking out those middlemen, those everybody else, you can just get a straight 100K. Well, based on 2003 prices, so you can get like a straight 200K for probably not that either, but somewhere in that ballpark for your kidneys instead of $2,000.
Yeah, and your family
Liam's convincing me here.
Your family. Think about this: you die, and now your family, you get the life insurance money, and you get whatever organs they can harvest. Also, think about it like this: it incentivizes people to be healthier, because if they die, they can then financially help their family if they're healthier. Non-smokers would be able to make more money. Non-alcoholics would have healthier livers to donate. Like logistically, it sounds like a terrible question, but logistically, if done properly, there could be some legitimate positive impacts.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of down with it. I'm kind of down with it.
I
feel like
very bizarre to me. But
the idea of it's awful. Yeah.
my thought in that is like I said, people are just going to be like, well, I don't need my other kidney. I'm in a rough patch. I'll just sell a part of my body, which, should be the last resort. But like you said, you can get rid of another kidney of one of your 2. But is it? I feel like that shouldn't just be an option. But at the same time, it is your body. But it feels weird because it would be so easy for somebody to make that choice. Like a university student should not have to sell their kidney to pay off their student loans.
Yes.
But they would, because that's an option and that's an easy way to get money.
Well, think about we could do 2 things too. Like there could be infrastructure to prevent stuff like that. Like one could be, you'd have to clear a mental health thing to make sure you're in full use of your faculties mentally, and then 2 could be a delayed payout where maybe you don't get the money for a year or 2, or it goes into an investment fund for 5 years, or just like stuff where it's not like those like loan shark cash, easy cash now things. So it's seen more as like a long-term investment and less of a, oh, I need cash now or I'm gonna go on the streets.
Okay.
So there's less
What if you do
desperation
need cash
involved.
now?
Well,
I think
then nothing changes.
But then, even then, I still think it's kind of like there's no other. Let's say in this scenario, there's no other social safety nets for you to fall back on, right? Fuck it, sell a kidney. Or hey, you want to start a business? Sell a kidney.
Yeah. Think about it too, because then like kidney prices would go down because there'd be more people selling kidneys, so you wouldn't get as much money, but there'd be more kidneys and there'd be more organs on the market theoretically.
Even if the price of a kidney went down to say 50K though, with all the extra donations and everything, right? The supply and demand, right? The supply goes up, demand goes down, price drops, right? Let's say in that scenario you do that. I don't know if you guys can hear that. My dog's barking up a storm right now. Sorry. But even if you were to do that, like $50,000 for like your average person is like kind of life changing, like for your average person. You know what I mean? Like that's quite a bit.
It's an opportunity to start something. And think about it like this, right? Say you start something and it goes good, You buy another kidney back.
Stonks.
It's like a loan. It's literally a loan.
Sell
It is-
your kidney,
it is-
invest the money, then buy a new kidney once you've doubled.
Think about it.
Oh.
It's like a loan,
Once-
but if you don't pay it back, the collateral is just one of your organs.
Once
This is going on one of the clips.
once the market price of kidneys has gone down, you can buy or sell high and buy low.
There you go. And yeah, because you sell right at the start, and then you wait until the years of people selling their kidneys, and then it's whatever kidney you want to buy. Also, you can sell a chunk of your liver. Because some people for transplants just need a piece of someone else's liver. They don't need the whole liver.
Facts.
So like,
Sign me up.
I kind of wish I could sell a kidney now. I can imagine me selling a kidney and then just getting an email being like, "We need the money back," because the person we transplanted in it immediately went into convulsions and died.
That's when you run off to Panama.
I become healthier because there's one less diseased organ in me.
That's how you turn tricks in this new world. You purposely poison an organ and then donate it.
I mean, I'm an organ donor on my health card, but I don't know what they'll be able to salvage.
I am also a registered organ donor, so if I die, somebody better get one of my fucking organs.
I know they won't be able
I
to use
feel
my
like,
brain
I feel like
because
you
it's just
being an
too
organ
big.
donor is just pointless. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I had to get a new health card, and they were like, and then they like had a little like form I had to fill out. It's like, "Do you want to be an organ donor?" I'm like, "Well, if you can find something."
Yeah, you can take whatever you want. You're not gonna like any of it, but you know, hey.
Yeah,
It's
and
yours.
like I said too, they can't donate my brain because it wouldn't fit in anyone's skull.
Right, of
'cause
course.
Too big, too wrinkly, too dense.
high IQ.
Hey, Hugh, Rick and Morty. He's the big brained man.
So, yeah, I guess
Yeah,
we are pro legalization of sale of human organs.
One thing I heard about actually today. Now I haven't fact checked it and I don't really care to. But I heard that there is a debate going on. I guess I don't know who from, but anyways, apparently some people have an opinion that I think would be the wrong opinion, but I mean it's a debate. It's got to do with unborn children. Basically, the thought is, if let's say you have a wife, and the doctor approaches you as your wife is, giving birth, and it's like, your wife may die if you go through with this birth, or you could, I don't know how you could abort a baby at that stage.
Hammer.
Like
Shotgun.
but like, if you don't go through with the birth, your wife should be fine. But she may die in this pregnancy, and apparently, it's a kind of a toss up on whether people are like, yes, let my wife try and give birth and maybe die, or call it quits on the baby and just adopt.
So wait,
And to me,
Is it bad that I know what my answer is immediately?
I would say no baby all the way. Let the
Fuck
baby.
them. Kids.
Fuck them kids. Yes,
Yeah,
that was
absolutely.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Like that seems like that kid is not going to know the difference. They haven't come out of the womb yet. They don't
No,
know that they're not
fucking
going
kid.
to live. Whereas
That
your
is the-
wife is laying there knowing that, yeah, I might die.
Not
What
even
the
that. Not
fuck?
even that. You have more of a connection to your wife, assumingly, than you would to a baby that. Well, yes, you've been waiting for them to grow and everything over the last 9 months.
Fuck it.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
probably
no, I
know,
do.
if you're having
I
kids with them,
absolutely do.
you've probably known your wife for a while. You know what I mean?
And also, you can have sex with your wife. You can't.
See,
Lemon
so
would shoot
here's
kid.
here's what I'm
Okay.
like. For me, that kid is not like that's not a loss. That's a tax write off at this point. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. The kid's not gonna be like, rats. I was so close. Whereas your wife, is now dead. Let's say if you have a fucking piece of garbage that you gotta clean up after, and the dead wife.
Yeah. Wait. So in this scenario, is the baby like? Is the head just popping out when the doctor's like, "Oh shit, we gotta push it back," or is this like
I don't
third
know.
trimester?
I don't know. I haven't debated that much. but like let's just say the pregnancy is going to have a high death rate, whereas you could not go through and your wife would, maybe be a little fucked up mentally, but not dead.
I mean, I live by a very simple motto: when in doubt, get an abortion. So I think that applies perfectly to this scenario.
Just tattoo that right across your forehead, eh?
Yeah.
Now, then I discussed it further, and it was like, okay, so how do you feel about, let's say your wife, husband, whatever, is 40 and your kid is 10, and somebody's got a gun to your head. Are you choosing get rid of the kid? If they're like, I'm taking one of these, what are you choosing?
Is me an option?
No.
No? Okay.
So it's a moral dilemma, because you could be like, well, the kid's got more potential. He's got his whole life to live, and he could really grow into something and change it. At the same time, if your wife dies, and like assuming you're like in love with her and you've been connected for many years, a large chunk of you would die inside. And then also the kid's gonna be fucked up because he just saw his dad be like, hey, son, I'm gonna save your life. Shoot that bitch. And then just like that. Like there's a whole slew.
Okay, well let's say put a wall between them. They're in separate rooms, and you're in a one-way mirror situation.
It's a saw scenario.
It's a press a button.
Scenario,
okay, but it's like
I get you.
Either way, you're gonna be.
It's a lose-lose.
You can't fucking get the.
That's very un-Alabama.
That's the third debate, Hayden. But I see. Either way,
I just realized I have to leave this podcast forever.
Either way, though, you're gonna be mentally fucked up. But I feel like it would probably be easier on you if your kid died, because you and your wife could work through that grief together. Where if your wife died, you'd have to try to sort of just raise a normal child and integrate him into society, and also your wife's dead. So I feel like most people would choose save the kid, but for me it's almost a 50-50. There's pros and cons on both sides.
See, for me, I would say save the wife, personally. Now again, I am obviously biased, as I am in a relationship and I don't have a kid yet, so I don't know what that relationship for 10 years with a kid would like, how that would alter your thoughts, and I'm sure it would. But for me right now, the thought is save the wife, because I'm thinking, up until the age of 10, I didn't do shit for this world. I'm not a huge loss. Now, who's to say I won't do something great in the next 50 years, or in these 10 years here? But like, you could make another kid at 40. It might have some difficult
show right now.
But like, I mean, like, it would fuck you up, for sure. It would fuck you up. You'd probably, suffer the rest of your life for having to make that choice.
There's no win here.
But I know my wife would be able to comfort me more than my kid would in this situation as well.
I honestly feel like, though, if your wife finds out that you chose the kid...
Well, it depends, I guess.
You're fucked.
I feel like you're more likely to get a divorce. I feel like people whose kids have died are at higher risk of like divorce and suicide. So there's also that to weigh in. It depends how much you like this kid. Like if he was a little shit, it might be like, well, that problem kind of solved itself.
Just a screaming demon for 10 years.
If you had Sid from Toy Story in that case.
Hey, no, he was misrepresented. We do not tolerate Sid slander.
Okay, what about the baby from Ice Age?
Fuck the baby from Ice Age.
Yeah, so like Lemon said, the relationship would be fucked either way, I think. But like, you think your kid's gonna forgive you for killing its mom? And like, obviously the kid's not gonna be like, should have been me. But like, the kid's gonna be like, you killed mom.
Yeah, it's harder too because kids like their moms usually more than their dads in terms of just evolutionary. So it's like he's wired to dislike anyone who had anything to do with his mother's death.
Mm-hmm. But either way, I think it's a lose-lose, obviously. But like, I don't think that I would save the kid at this point in time.
Do you get any lifelines? Like, can you call a friend? or ask the audience.
Hey Joe, should I kill my my only son or my wife?
Hello, is this Regis Philbin? I need to know whether I should kill my child or what.
No,
Right now.
this is just
Gun to my head.
the season finale of fucking Impractical Jokers. It's like, Sal, okay, you don't own that room. There's a gun. Okay, now you gotta shoot your wife for your kids, Sal, or you'll be today's
Sal's
biggest
tonight's
loser.
big loser.
Because he didn't make the choice, we killed both of them, and it's just Joe or whatever the other guys' names are, just fucking murdering Sal's children.
Joe and Q just pop out with knives.
Wrong.
Wrong choice. You have to choose, or you're off the show.
Tristan's got a point about the baby, like the unborn baby versus the wife or mom thing. But like apparently even some of the moms that had weighed in on this were like, it's worth the risk. Let me give birth and maybe die. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? You must be religious. You must be religious.
That's kind of insane to me.
You must be or no choice, not pro-choice. Because, like, what the fuck? I can't imagine being like, I will risk my life to maybe give birth.
The thing is, I feel like the whole, like, lead up to having a kid and having a kid, like, really does change you and your perspective on something like that. Yeah, like Lemon's saying, like, the maternal bond is already there at that point, because you've carried this thing to life for 9 months, you know what I mean?
Like, you guys are saying that, but what the fuck is 9 months?
Yeah,
I'm gonna cut my life 40 years short
but I'm
because
saying
I've carried
also,
this shit brain inside me for 9 months.
There's like evolutionary hormones and things though that are like there to make you care more about this kid than yourself. Like, you know.
Yeah,
what I
but
mean?
I think if my wife was like, yeah, I'm gonna risk my life with a 90% chance of death to give birth to this thing because I've carried it for 9 months after we did a little jig in bed, I would slap the shit out of them and be like, think again. No way. There's no way that 9 months was so important that you'll give up your life for it. That just feels silly to me. Like, the thing is not born. That the baby's not making, like, it's not thinking. It's not there. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like, you could argue, yeah, it has a brain, sure, but I've always been pro-abortion. Kind of, like, that's where I stand on, like, you should be able to choose.
Let me change your mind, Jacob. Not on abortion, but on the wife dying. The wife dies. You sell her organs. Now you got that money.
Stop.
I'm not done there. You raise the kid in your basement, though. Nobody knows he's around. Nobody knows you have a kid. Turns 18 when he has prime organs. It's a whole body full of organs to sell also. Bam! Twice the organs, zero the costs.
Bam! Double homicide. So much money. No, I personally feel like if a baby is not born yet, that thing has not consciously made any thoughts.
What if they shoot her?
It's of no value.
The good old hospital execution. 2 shots to the kidneys.
That'll put you out of your misery. Just 1 sec. Bang, bang.
I hope I didn't miss one.
2 will do you.
Let's give a 3rd shot just for good luck.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
so. Yeah, safe to say, I was shocked by that.
It is shocked. It is
that was a debate. I mean, first of all, it's a lose-lose, but like, no chance.
Yeah,
for me,
it's better to lose the non-conscious grouping of cells than the wife.
No,
all day.
I agree with that. Though.
It gets a lot harder to make that choice if it's a 10-year-old and a 40-year-old.
No, exactly.
Like, if this is a 10-year-old person, that choice is like.
That's your child. You've literally raised that person to become a person at that point. Like, I don't know.
It could turn into Artur Walczak if you let the child grow up.
Slap champion.
Okay, I was like, what's this reference? And I was like, I remember the name from somewhere. It was from 20 minutes ago.
That's fair, maybe.
11.
Yep.
But to me, I would still choose. Like, again, I don't know if I had any thoughts, but I don't remember anything from the womb. I'm gonna be honest. And I feel like even if you were in the womb and then all of a sudden it goes black, you're not gonna be like, ah, shit, they killed me. You're gonna be like, all right,
They go to baby heaven.
maybe, I don't know, if you believe in that kind of thing.
But fuck.
So
It seems
anyways,
like
off
we
to
always
death.
this podcast always goes into dead children. I feel like if there's at least one dead child reference in every episode.
Most
It's a
of them
running
are thanks to you, I think, but
Is baby heaven separate to normal heaven? Yeah, it's right by dog heaven.
it's yeah, it's pretty much bottom of the board, but it's
Yeah.
there.
What are the
Yeah.
babies gonna do? Crawl around and say goo goo gaga.
Here's
Dogs are up there catching infinite frisbees.
here's a
Hell.
hypothetical for you boys.
Shoot.
In 40 years, what are people going to be like nostalgic for? And what is going to be the thing that kind of like defines our decades? Like, you know, like
RGB lighting.
God, I miss my RGB lighting.
I feel like eventually we're gonna be like, oh, that's too passe. That's too chigway or
Dude,
whatever.
if we move
What's
past
that word people are saying now? Chiggy. Chiggy.
Man,
Split screen video games. I feel like we're already past the age of split screen video games.
yeah, it's just
I'm
you're console plebeian.
I'm rather curious to see where computers are at in 40 years time, because like, you know, all things start like cell phones, fucking
Mhm.
big brick phone.
Smart
Now
phone.
it's a little small smartphone. You know, computer, like my computer's 1.5 feet by 2 foot tall.
Yeah.
What, like that's gonna be like a CPU in 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like graphics cards are getting bigger right now, but soon they're gonna start getting smaller.
Smaller again. Yeah.
Because that's
you
how
hit, like,
these things go.
that peak. Once you hit that like technological peak, you can then start shrinking that down.
Yeah,
you know what I
just
mean? And
condense the quality. To make
Yeah.
it small.
I'm excited for VR because I haven't bought
VR
one yet. Because I
I
know
think
it's gonna
VR is
get
gonna be
better
nuts.
and more accessible.
In 40
Yeah.
years, VR is going like, I don't know. I guess we had this anime discussion. Was that last podcast?
Yeah.
There's multiple anime about VR. The one of the most famous being Sword Art Online. I think VR is going to be a very big thing, probably. I mean, I have no fucking clue, obviously, but like, it could probably go very far.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have like haptic feedback suits, so you slide on an entire suit, so it mimics like every sensation in like your entire like. It's gonna get really fucking. Can you imagine how fucking insane that would be though? Playing COD with the boys, and you're in a 5-man squad, and if you get shot, it actually fucking hurts, and your character like
what
falls
is that
down.
shit called? Neuralink, is it?
Oh yeah, that's
There's
like-
one that's like direct into your brain. That one's
Well,
pretty
yeah.
fun.
So yeah, Sword Art Online, that anime, is basically like a VR headset that connects to your brain
oh
and it like brings you to another world. But like, we have Neuralink and we have VR.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like you guys remember that episode of Black Mirror, the playtest episode with
yeah.
Wyatt Russell? I feel like we're going towards something like that. Like, oh, here's a little implant chip. You just kind of connect it onto your connector piece, wherever that may be, and just fucking it sends you right into.
Tristan really out here on the bad vibes. People are going to be nostalgic for having freedom. Amazon will own all of us, but our organs. But I mean, like, okay, so one thing to think about, in 40 years' time, there's probably not going to be much land left to buy.
Mm-mm.
Like, you're already buying land from somebody, so all the land is already owned. But, like, in 40 years' time, there's no way you buy a 10-acre property.
No.
I mean, yeah, no, you definitely do it. I don't think, because like a lot of those bid properties aren't land that bid companies are interested in.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily that either. It's
But
like we still have to have
Sorry.
parks and things like that.
The
sort of
one thing about the world is that land is just about one of the only things we don't have access to making more of. Obviously, there's a lot of water, and we can make more land. It's happened. But, like, land is only going to appreciate in value forever because
Yeah.
it is finite. It will always be finite. We can make more, but until we leave the earth, there's only so much land we can have. And as the number of people goes up,
Yeah,
the scary
but
thing is too, though. Sorry, go ahead, Liam.
It's just land isn't like one of the resources like next on like think about it like how much land Canada has. We're the second largest country in the world, and we only have 38 million people.
But so much of that is listed as like species, like places for like endangered species to live safely. You know what I mean? It's like you can't just start cutting into that land as like
Yeah, but still, like 94% or something of Canada's entire
along the
population
border
lives
and the
along the
water.
border.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
yeah.
like there's so much land.
But my thing is the worrying part is we are losing land if global warming estimates are to be believed.
Which they are to be believed.
Which I personally tend to believe scientists who spend their whole life, dedicating
See?
themselves to science.
So yeah,
Uh,
that's another good point. Land is getting smaller. The number of people is getting
it's
larger.
fucked, yeah.
The number of people who need land to live, because unless we're all going to start living in apartment complexes, and the whole world will be covered in apartment complexes like
Like
Japan.
dread.
Like in Japan, can you even buy a house, or is it just a big apartment if you're lucky?
But that's like
I mean,
high.
I know there is houses, but like, you know what I mean? They have like a very high populace for a very small amount of people,
Mm-hmm.
but we're getting more people every day.
The thing
The
is
number
though,
still goes up.
yeah, but that's not really a problem in developed countries. Because like for example, in Japan and a lot of European countries, the population's going down every year in the country because now especially with a lot of women working like in higher positions and man like you have like people who work full time. A lot of people are electing to either only have one kid or not have any kids. Like I'm pretty sure in Japan the population's actually going down.
It is.
And
They have an aging
but in like
population.
places like India, Africa, and China, and like especially in the more underdeveloped areas, they'll have like 8 to 12 kids, and that's really where the population skyrockets.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But like, either way, unless the whole world follows the old ways of China, it's like one child maximum, which the whole world won't do that because that's fucked. But like, it's what I'm saying is either way, the population will always continue to go up unless something else happens because that's people do the do and children are born.
Yeah, but
And as
it
time goes on, these children grow and need to get houses. And, the population goes up, and eventually everybody needs somewhere to live, which means we need more land. Or we
yeah,
will eventually have no land.
but I don't think that's a problem in like I don't think that's going to be a problem in 40 years. Just like these mega cities could house all of Canada. Like
Oh, yeah, maybe not in 40 years, but it's going to be more of a problem. It's
I
going
think
to continue to be a problem until
Well,
we skedaddle into space, I think.
have you guys seen like global population growth maps of like the last 2,000 years?
Probably.
Let's see if I can find one here. You guys keep talking.
yeah.
But, like, I mean, again, I agree with you. In 40 years, it's not going to be like everybody's sardined in here. But, like, it's going to be more of a situation than it was today.
I mean, I don't think land ever becomes the issue for population though, cause like we got a shit ton of land. I think the
There is
population
a
is
lot of land. Yeah, absolutely.
and
But
like
again, most of it is like most of the land that people don't live on yet is parks or forest, which should stay forest because there's that whole problem.
well yeah, but like the thing is like population in like the more developed places isn't going up that much. Like think about like my grandmother comes from a family of like 10 kids, and a lot of Christian families back then just had massive families. Now, it's very rare. There might be a few people in our high school who have more than 3 or 4 siblings.
I have
Like you don't see those massive. Like Braden's got a big family, but you don't see a lot of those like big families around as often. And in like
yeah.
the real developed places in Europe and Japan, most like a lot of adults are just either not having kids or having one kid, which is either a -2 or a -1 to the population 40 years from now, 50 years from now.
True, and I guess there's also some people who are willing to give their life for a child, which is fucking whatever. I guess it's equivalent exchange, so that's fine.
Problem solves itself.
Kill them kids.
Yeah, so I mean you're not wrong, and like the lads are saying here, resources will be a problem first. I agree.
Water's the big one. Water's gonna be bad.
Land is another resource. What I'm trying to say is buy land, because it's only going to go up in value.
Unless it gets flooded with
Okay,
rising
well,
tides.
don't buy land, on the edge of Nova Scotia. Maybe buy some land in Ontario, Midland.
That's where I come in unlucky, because I actually do, like, my family owns land. It's been passed down for like a couple generations. Literally nothing built on it, but it's on the Nova Scotian coast. So
it'll be gone in 40 years.
Buy more land.
Sell that land and buy some smaller land somewhere that's not going to be underwater in 20 years. Or, you can have a beachfront property and you'll have maybe a sliver. You could build like a little 2x4 house.
Yeah.
That'd be exciting. You could build a bus stop on the beach.
Yeah. All set.
Beach bus stop, let's go.
And another big dumpy boat gets stuck in the Suez Canal. Step stuck, sorry. That's a cursed sentence. A big dumpy boat gets step stuck in the Suez. And like this chart you sent here, Braden, the population has immensely boomed in the last 120 years. Mm-hmm. From 1.65 billion to 7.7 billion as of 2 years ago.
Yeah.
1 second. I'm getting a call, lads. I will be right back.
Mm-hmm. What are we at right now, actually? 2021. Let's see. Yeah, wow. So we're projected to hit 8 billion in 2023.
Yeah. I mean, coronavirus helped slow it down a bit.
A little bit. So let's see where we're supposed to be the year 2100. Okay, so we're not going as fast as I thought. We're gonna be at like 11 billion by the year 2100. 10.8.
Yeah, and we can easily facilitate that. And again, a lot of this population growth is in India. What? I said we could easily facilitate that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, never mind. I thought you said fix.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, Liam's doing a genocide.
Godson's genocide.
Jesus.
No, but and also too, it's more like we need education programs in like India and Africa. Africa, a lot of the times it's sad, but the reason they have like 12 children is because only 7 to 8 of them will make it.
Yeah.
And even less than that sometimes.
It's not even just that, though, because it's like if you go to America, it's like the people who are having like big families are usually the religious people who are raised with like abstinence-only sexual education, and like they just know, oh, you're supposed to procreate for God or whatever.
Yeah.
No fun in sex. And then like the other aspect of that is that like then they just go on and have like 12 children, and it's I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, no,
11 to 12 billion is the estimated human carrying capacity of the planet. The fucked up thing is, though, it's like that's the estimated human carrying capacity of the planet, but we're only at like 8 billion right now, and we are already not sustaining the life in the way we need to.
Yeah, but also technology could help with that. Although that being said, I do think the planet's fucked, and I don't think humanity.
Yes.
I don't think humanity. I don't think the Earth will live unless something fucking drastic changes in like 200 years.
Less than that, I'd say. I feel like we have like 100 years to like really turn shit around, or we are fucked.
Dude, I remember watching.
I think by the time we die, if there's not a fix.
Oh yeah, no. I remember
if things aren't getting better by the time we're on our way out, things are fucked.
I remember watching a documentary and it was in 1997, and they're like, if we're at a crossroads right now in 1997 with global warming, if we don't change by the year 2013, the planet is beyond fixable. And not only have we not changed since 2013, our emissions have gotten exponentially worse.
Love to see it. Good old humans.
We just need to invent some sort of giant machine that sucks the carbon out of the air and is powered by the garbage patch in the Pacific.
They are making a lot of improvements to collecting pollution from the ocean, which is great.
Same with collecting gas from the ozone layer.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's there's people out there, like, we may have already birthed the person who will.
Not if someone decided to save their life.
Maybe not.
Or
But-
chose the 10-year-old to get shot.
There may already be a person out there who will provide a solution, or at least a step in the right direction. It's just a matter of waiting and working on it. But like, if there isn't already somebody out there who's been born to work on this project, things are looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
Saying. We might be a little fucked.
If I had to put money on it, I'd put money on us being fucked, because I think that's the more likely outcome. But
But science
knowing
is
how humans
really
work.
good. Science
It
is
is-
really, really good.
It's true. But I feel like as long as we keep rewarding the people doing bad shit with more money and more power, especially like mainly people who are like running like big corporations that are like absolutely polluting the shit of the planet using child labor, shit like that, right? Stealing water from people, like those are, you know, like as long as those people are making more money, it's like those people are still gonna come along. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? People will take advantage of those benefits, right? So human nature, it's like science is great. The people who go into science or like the medical field, those people are heroes. You know what I mean? Those people like genuinely like they're selfless. They dedicate so much time to like understanding these concepts and trying to like find solutions and things like that. But then you got the other people who are like, I'm gonna go make some money even if it costs me my soul.
I
So
feel like those people have more fun.
probably, honestly, yeah, probably.
YOLO, you have one life.
Guaranteed.
Don't,
Guaranteed.
I'd hate being around them, but I bet I would have fun.
don't waste your time reading books when you can be exploiting the systematic issues of our time.
Exactly,
So-
and as long as fixing it is kind of like what Ellen's here, but is saying, but as long as fixing it is like not profitable, we're
Yeah, and I mean, but the thing is, maybe, probably not, let's be honest, but maybe as the generations move on and, you know, the old money people die out, and our generation takes over, maybe morals of people will be just like a 1 or 2% better. Hopefully, like, if it needs to be like at least 15% better for any good change to happen. But again, like, odds are our generation is not going to be the fix,
No,
but it kind of has to be.
no, but that's
So
not how it ever works, though. Because like to get elected, you need funding. To get funding, you need morals in which you'll take money and return it for favors. Like
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, if
because
you're
like think
corrupt
about like
in-
all the hippies in the 60s and 70s, right? Stop the war, and the military industrial complex only grew much larger. Also,
Oh, yeah,
people
no, so
people become more conservative the older they get too.
So my hypothetical, to bring it back to children here, I guess again, is like how do you guys feel about having kids these days with the state of things going forward? And I'm asking Chad as well.
Well, I mean, like, are you saying like, do you want to bring a kid into this?
Yeah, it's like on the one hand, hey, maybe my kid will be the smart one. Maybe my kid will be the solution. Probably not. I'm an idiot. But I don't know, man. It's just like if things are trending down.
No, I'll say this. There's enough assholes.
But I also don't want to go idiocracy.
Yeah, there's enough. There's enough assholes and not mentally disabled people, but people who are retards, who you need to, if you can and have the facilities to have kids. I feel like it's almost not a duty, but you should heavily consider it, because if you can impose a child with good morals and ethics and just raise a good person, then populating the earth with more good people can only better it.
yeah, that's kind of
I
where I'm
agree.
at. Like, I don't really want kids at the moment, but like, I feel like if I were to have a kid, I could raise a good human. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm an exceptional person, but I know damn well where my morals are, and
You put
I
your
know
shopping
that
cart back.
Yeah, I could put my morals into a new person, and I would be content with who they are, and I know that they would do good. So I feel like that person should come to exist. You know what I mean? Like if I can make another me and put them out there, I would be content with that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been able to do good, and I will continue to try my best to do good. So I would only hope that unless something goes horribly wrong, any child I have would have, those same kind of morals.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So, yes, as much as the world is fucked, I'd like to put another person out there, I think.
I respect that. Yeah, I used to be kind of on the other end. Things look bad. I was like, yeah, no, I couldn't bring a kid to this. And then I was like, no, that's literally the plot of Idiocracy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't.
Great movie.
Because the Alabamans are always gonna be fucking.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's always going to be dumb people, and there's always going to be,
Exactly.
stupid,
Those,
evil people. But
those people aren't gonna raise great people.
yeah, but they're going to raise people. So
Either way, exactly.
you gotta cancel it the bad with the good.
Counterbalance. Exactly. Well,
for once we're
On
gonna
that
end the
note.
stream on a happy note. We're gonna hit your boy with a raid. Let's hit your boy Mystique. Playing
hell
some
yeah.
Sea of
Go for it.
Thieves. Thank you everybody for watching. This was and thank you Hayden for the raid, and Lemon, Tristan, you guys always dropping by, chatting with us.
We appreciate you.
Thank you for the follow, Tristan, and we'll be back at you next week.
See you on the next one.
Later, fellas.
Adios.